Camp Lazlo.
Only one who sees them when people be stuck there plotting and scheming. She kicks butt, sounds and
Whatever happened to
robot tones.
Remember Cartoon Network in the early 2000s? Everyone talks about Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, and the Powerpuff Girls. I even made a video on Ed, Ed, and Eddie. But there was this weird middle zone, a lineup of shows that lived in our head rent-free, but then they just disappeared. This video is for the ones that got left behind. Today, we're diving into Cartoon Network's forgotten era, the wild, strange, and underrated shows you probably haven't thought about in years, but you definitely watched, or maybe you remember glimpses of them. That's what this video will be for. First up, Time Squad. This was Cartoon Network saying, what if we taught history, but made it weird? You had a buff, brainless time cop, a snobby robot, and a genius orphan sent back in time to fix historical figures who completely fell off. Like Abraham Lincoln becoming dishonest Lincoln, or Beethoven opening a pizza place.
Excuse me, Mr. Lincoln. Wouldn't you rather be honest and good? Wouldn't you rather, say, give an old lady a hand crossing the street?
No, but I wouldn't mind giving her an atomic wedgie.
The show was all chaos, and honestly, it kind of was brilliant. It mixed historical facts with scenarios that made time travel feel like a 9-to-5 job. It only lasted 2 seasons though, but it had big Futurama energy, and it was just for kids.
An opportunity for a good deed.
My kitty cat stuck in that tree.
Or an opportunity for a bad deed. Yoink! Here, you want it? You really want it back? Here, take it.
Next, the show that made absolutely no sense, and that was the point, was Sheep in the Big City.
Can any sheep survive with the traffic? And the yelling? And the German shepherds? Not to
We followed a literal sheep in a big city being chased by a secret military organization for his superior sheep-powered ray gun. And before you even say anything, yes, that is real. I actually had to look it up again after doing the script to make sure I wasn't crazy when I wrote this, which, by the way, I write all these at like 4 a.m. for some reason.
Sheepy's got enough money to eat, because he's a telemarketer.
Hello? Hello? Is this someone offering me a pre-approved credit card? I'll take 2.
And that is the actual plot of Sheep in the Big City. It constantly broke the fourth wall. It had running gags about advertising, and the narrators were confused, and so were the viewers. But the animation was really good, and the writing was smart. And it was a really odd, realistic humor that kids, I don't think, really knew. But I think that's what made it work now. If you watch it, you'll understand a lot of the jokes were very not kid-friendly. Now, let's talk about the life and time of Jun Lee. If you were into shows like Ben 10 or American Dragon Jake Long, this was right up your alley.
Hiya, Jun. Me and my steady are driving to my California beach house. Wanna come?
Hi, Jen.
Roger?
It's Roger.
Oh, I get it. This is a nightmare. Of course it's a nightmare. Get me out of here! Chill, Ophelia. It'll be over in a few hours.
Guess who's got tickets to the figure skating competition?
Juniper was a middle schooler by day and a magical protector of her town by night. She fought monsters, solved magical crimes, and still had time for math homework. The show had great character design, fast-paced action, and legit world building. It didn't blow up like it should have though, but it did deserve a spot on Cartoon Network's big hitters. And really, I thought it was made by the same people who made American Dragon Jake Long, because it just kind of felt like the same design, and it was really good. Whatever happened to Robot Jones? That's not just the name, it's a valid question. Robot Jones was a robot sent to experience human life in middle school. It was awkward, low tech, and somehow super relatable. The animation looked like it was pulled straight out of the 70s textbook, and the robot voice was originally text to speech, but that just made it more charming.
Kids, hit the showers!
Showers. Directly to these showers so that I may hit them. Lazlo take showers.
Follow me, man. I'm heading that way.
That human had no protective cloth layer.
It explored growing up, fitting in, and trying to understand emotions without getting too heavy. Plus, it had a killer retro vibe that made it totally unique. Also, for some reason, every time I see Robot Jones, it reminds me of when my dad bought me Wendy's. And then Wendy's, used to have aluminum foil, wrapping, and it was yellow, good time. Camp Lazlo was Cartoon Network's answer to summer camp chaos. It had a monkey scout named Lazlo, an angry moose named Lumpus, and a bunch of animal campers doing whatever they could to not follow the rules. The art style was bold and weird, and the humor was dry, random, and full of one-liners that hit harder the older you got.
Wow, look at him! Just like Napoleon.
It wasn't flashy as Billy and Mandy, but it carved its own little corner in Cartoon Network's universe, and if you watched it, you remember the vibe it had. But I think if you really watched it, you remember the ending of it. And finally, Class of 3000, a show about a famous musician who becomes a music teacher, voiced by Andre 3000, which you couldn't make that up. Every episode had an original song, wild visuals, and life lessons hidden in jazz solos. It felt like Schoolhouse Rock with a Cartoon Network twist.
Yeah, y'all lame's the only thing to keep this school from being ice cold boring.
From the flames of perdition, I stab at thee!
Yep, boring.
The animation went off the rails sometimes in the best way, and the music was so good, it still hits today. Seriously, the show should have been more huge, but it fell off. These shows might not get reruns, they might not have merch, but they have vibes. They pushed boundaries, got weird, and gave us some of the most unique cartoons of the 2000s. So whether you remember 1, 2, or all of these, this era was special. Let me know in the comments which one you watched, and if you want me to do a full breakdown of any of them, hit that like and subscribe, and let me know, because this is where nostalgia lives. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go get some Wendy's.